Hi, I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you're having a great day today. Today we want to talk about the health of your hormones and how you need to balance your hormonal health. Now, usually when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to the inability to lose weight, when it comes to a difficulty on putting lean mass or developing muscle in your body, when it comes to the health of your hair, your skin, all of these issues, we look at diet plans, we look at exercise plans, we look at spiritual paths to find peace and calm in our mind and all of these things. Yes, they definitely help. But what we need to understand that everything in the human body is controlled by your hormones. Your hormones have a profound effect on your emotional health, your physical health, and your spiritual health. We should also add your mental health. So what I want you to do right now is just close your eyes and picture yourself. Close your eyes and picture that your body, your mind, all of your organs comprise of trillions of cells. Each of these trillions of cells have various functions. Your heart, your lungs, your liver, your bladder, your reproductive system, all of these are made up of trillions of cells. Every cell has various functions. Now picture this in your system, trillions of cells. Now to make your body work, to make your heart work, your liver work, your kidney work, your skin look good, glow in your skin, for your weight to reduce, there has to be the right communication between these cells. We can have trillions of cells doing various functions, but if there is no communication between these cells, basically nothing works. So when communication stops between certain cells, we find that our hair starts to fall. When communication stops between certain cells, we find that our liver function, our kidney function, inflammation in the human body tends to increase. This communication is conducted by several chemical messengers. These chemical messengers are your hormones. So your hormones, to simply put it, are chemical messengers that allow communication between your cells. So right now, if you're thinking of a thought, to pick up a pencil, pick up a pen, all of that is communication between trillions of cells, from the thought to the action to actually picking up that pen, to the visualization, the looking, the feeling, and all of those things, to the sensing. Is the pen going to be heavy? Is the pen going to be light? How far is the pen from me? Do I need to lean forward and pick it up? Communication per second, per millisecond. All this communication is controlled by your hormones. So now it's very simple to understand that if we have a hormonal imbalance, we have the wrong communication between cells. That's when we find a cyst growing or a fibroid growing in the human body or a tumor growing in the human body. We know that the communication has been disrupted, or you suddenly break out into an acne and to pimples and stuff like that. You know that the communication has been disrupted. Now this is not always a bad thing, because all of us will go through hormonal imbalance many times in a month, in a week, in a year, because there are many things that contribute towards a hormonal imbalance. For example, the outside environment changes. The inside environment changes inside our system. Temperature changes, our food intake changes. We get too much of sugar in our body. We get sleep deprivation. All of this controls how our hormones behave. So the good part is, a lot of it is within our control. Small parts of it is out of our control. Like you have endometriosis, which is caused by excess estrogen in the human body, and sometimes you need surgery, sometimes you need medication, sometimes homeopathy works great for you, because homeopathy's managed to reduce your stress levels, and because you've reduced your stress levels, you no longer have that estrogen dominance in your cycle to feed your ovaries, your cysts, your fibroids, or your endometrial linings. Anyway, coming back to hormones, as we age, our hormonal capacity also declines. So now women who go through menopause understand this really well, that your estrogen levels start to fall, and that's why you have several changes in your body, in your mood. You have hot flushes, you have mood swings, and all of those things. We also understand in women and some amount of men who get osteoporosis or osteopenia, we understand that there is a huge connection of estrogen with the cause of osteoporosis. It's not just calcium and vitamin D. So if you have falling levels of estrogen, fluctuating levels of estrogen, so today a lot of women hit menopause at the age of 42 and 43 and 44. We need to understand this is not a cool thing. This is not right. This means that your body is rapidly aging, or you have a terrible hormonal imbalance. Because what's going to happen is, if you've hit it so early, that means now you may become a candidate for osteoporosis because you don't have the right amount of estrogen for your bones. So we need to understand that nature has designed everything into the right cycle. Women will reach menopause at the age of 49, 50, 51, 52, even 53, and that's a perfect cycle. Some women wish that they get menopause earlier so they can be done with it. You need to understand that you're challenging the natural cycle of the human body, and it is going to come with its severe side effects of hormonal imbalance and fluctuation. Anyway, let's understand right now that your endocrine system is responsible for your hormonal balance and even secreting hormones in the human body. When we talk about hormones, we're not just talking about estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. Even insulin is a hormone. So when we talk about diabetes, we don't talk about diabetes just being a disease or a condition. I call it a hormonal imbalance because insulin is a hormone. You either have too much of it or you're not producing enough of it. It is a hormonal imbalance. Thyroid, thyroxine is a hormone again. So thyroid disease by just taking thyroxine and expecting to be healthy all your life, no. The root cause is a hormonal imbalance. And if you don't work with the root cause, you can go on popping pills for a lifetime and your paper and your parameters can have good TSH and T3 and T4 levels, but you are still sick in a way because you still have a hormonal imbalance. And tomorrow you're going to have a new problem that's born out of your original hormonal imbalance problem that you have. Then we have cortisol, we have adrenaline. These are the stress hormones. Again, it's a hormone. It is a hormone. Everything in the human body works in conjunction with one another. You can't separate thyroxine and only treat the thyroid gland using thyroxine. Do that if you have to, the medical way. But you have to look at your lifestyle, your stress, your sleep, the way you eat, your movement, your activity, all of these things together if you're going to heal. Diabetes, you can't just look at pre and post fasting levels and HbA1c. You got to look at your pancreas, your hormones, your sleep, your stress, everything that we spoke about if you truly want to heal, because hormonal imbalance is vast in the human body. Most people think weight loss is about diets, restriction, and punishing your body with exercise. Most women and men who struggle to lose weight is because they have a hormonal imbalance. Improper communication. That's why your body is stubborn and it wants to hold on to that weight. Have you ever realized, why is my body so stubborn? Why is it holding on to my weight? You know, it's so unnatural that we have to be so health obsessed and spend 90% of our day revolving around health and doing things to stay fit. It doesn't have to be that way. When your body has what it needs, just what it needs, it's supposed to do its function of letting off excess weight, you know, taking care of your hair, your skin, your body naturally. It doesn't have to be a task. Go back 15 to 20 years, health was not a task. People only did the things that were right for them. They ate in balance, they didn't do extreme diets, they moved, they weren't sedentary, they slept a lot, and their stress levels were not as much as we have today. And they didn't have to try to be healthy, they were automatically healthy. Today we have to try, we have to put ourselves to extremes, we have to select extreme diets and exercise programs, you know, to get all of this in place. Doesn't that seem highly unnatural to you? It's become so complicated, people are health obsessed. It doesn't have to be obsession. Health comes naturally. Give the human body, mind, heart what it needs. It looks after you. It's as simple as that. You're sick, it heals you. Sometimes we got to put in extra effort, but in most cases, your body has its innate intelligence to heal you and look after you and to prevent and to heal you. Now let's get straight into natural ways on how we can balance our hormones. The number one thing, exercise. You can go on popping all those oral contraceptives. Now, I understand that there are some people who will need oral contraceptives, but I am asking everyone out there, every woman, ask your doctor what the side effects of oral contraceptives are. And if your doctor says, oh, don't worry about it, there's nothing, change your doctor. And then you go onto a medical site and you check what the side effects of oral contraceptives are. That should hopefully motivate you to make lifestyle changes and to do everything that you can to change your lifestyle so that you can get off that oral contraceptive as soon as possible. I'm not here to create fear amongst everyone, but it's every human being's right to know the side effects and the dangers of prolonged uses of oral contraceptives for things like PCOD, heavy bleeding, and all of that stuff. There's a problem in your body. The oral contraceptive is suppressing the symptom. Take it if you need it as a crutch until you can make lifestyle changes and solve the problem. But taking it thinking it's healing you, you are creating more deadly side effects in the human body. That's the first thing that you need to do. Exercise. We clearly see in young girls, children, young adults with PCOD and hormonal issues, if they are sedentary, they have hormonal imbalance. Get up and move. Get up and move. No amount of wealth in the world means that you need to be lazy, means that you shouldn't do things and get other people to do things for you. You can have all the wealth in the world and enjoy doing it the right way. Unfortunately, most of the mentality today is if I have more wealth, I should do less. I can get my servant to get the remote control for me every time I want to change the channel. Every time the doorbell rings, I'll have my servant get up and do it. And you can feel wealthy and feel that, oh, I'm a king or a queen and I have all these people working for me. But the only loser is you. The only loser is you, because you're going to be the person at the doctor getting all the hormone replacements and all the treatments tomorrow only because you are sedentary and lazy. Get your children to move. There are so many parents out there who want their children to take part in so many extracurricular activities and tuitions and all of that stuff that they're willing to sacrifice their daughters and their children's health to achieve some degree or some admission into some top university in the world. Well, guess what? All those children today come to us. They've got all the fanciest degrees in the world, but they've lost their health because they didn't do the basics and they were not guided to do the basics. They were told to compromise their sleep, to study more. They were told to sit and study instead of going and getting even 1 hour of outdoor activity. Now you define that success of your child. You've ruined your child's life. They can have all the certifications in the world, but they are the people who are suffering with pain and sickness and feeling low and emotionally destroyed inside. Balance. Balance your children's life, your teenager's life. There's enough of peer pressure. It is up to us to change that peer pressure in society to give them better lives. So if you think sacrificing their sleep and making them sit in a room all day and study is going to make them a better citizen and a better human, I'm sorry, that is your insecurity and you need to change that. Exercise more. Exercise is the easiest way, the simplest way, and the most inexpensive way to balance your hormones. When you exercise, your cells, your blood gets the right amount of blood circulation. Blood carries oxygen and nutrients from the food that you eat to all of your cells. So you give your body what it needs, it will balance your hormones. The second, sleep. Sleep is connected at every level to your hormonal imbalance and balance. One night of sleep deprivation and you will notice, observe yourself the next day. You'll be reaching out for foods that are rich in sugar and carbohydrates and salts. You'll be reaching out for foods that are rich in stimulants, coffees and teas, just because you didn't get enough of rest. Your hormones get thrown out of balance. Your leptin, which is your satiety hormone, is thrown out of balance. So you go on and on eating because there's that hormone, that chemical messenger that doesn't tell your brain that stop right now. It's suppressed because it only functions well when it gets the right amount of sleep. And you have ghrelin, which is a hunger hormone, which spikes up when you have sleep deprivation. So even if you're not physically hungry, you will go on eating more and more and more, only because you had sleep deprivation, period. You don't need a more expensive doctor, nutritionist, a new pill, a new technology. You don't need a retreat. You don't need any of that shit. What you need is more sleep. As simple as that. More sleep. So exercise and sleep. Your protein. Increase your protein. When I say increase your protein, this doesn't mean you have to take whey proteins and supplements. At every meal, make sure you have some amount of carbohydrates, as less as possible, a good amount of protein, and a good amount of healthy fats. If you have the right amount of protein, again, protein, they break down into amino acids that signal to your hormones that, hey, I've had enough of food. They signal to leptin, to ghrelin. It keeps you feeling full for a longer period of time. Everything is signaling. You see, human beings think we're over smart. We think we're far more intelligent than the human body. We think we can tell the body when to eat, when not to eat, when to starve, when not to do this. I'm sorry, those are all fads. We think we're smart. Your body has the most intelligence. It tells you when to eat. It tells you when to sleep. It tells you how much to eat. It tells you what to eat. If you're mindful and you're listening, you don't need anyone to tell you what to do. If you are mindful, your own body will give you enough of biofeedback what to do. So increase your protein. When you're looking at vegetarian, like when you look at a khichdi, why do I like khichdi so much? It's a complete protein and it keeps you full for 4 to 5 hours. It's easy on the digestive system. It doesn't make you feel sleepy after eating that, and it's a complete protein. The non-vegetarian, the egg. The egg is a complete, beautiful protein with amino acids that signal to all of your hormones. But yet we have oversmart human beings who cut out all the yolk and eat the white. Useless. You may get an additional 3 grams of protein, but you won't get any other function of the egg. You can't separate nature. The white, the protein in the white works better with the amino acids found in the yellow. So what you want to do is make sure that you combine the yellow and the white and eat a whole egg to get all of those benefits. If you don't like khichdi and you don't like eggs, even combining beans and rice, like your rajma, your kidney beans and your rice makes it a complete protein. So there are more than simple, inexpensive things that you got to do. But yet people keep on messaging, which is the best protein supplement in the world, which is the best whey protein. They want to spend their money. They want to spend their money on all of these things which are not necessary. You're an athlete, you need it, take it. I have nothing against that. If you're a simple layman, you don't need it. First deal with the basics and then start complicating things. The fourth point is sugar and carbohydrates, refined sugar and carbohydrates. All that excess white sugar that you put in your system is creating inflammation and causing a hormonal imbalance. You want to balance your hormones, cut out sugar. Try going off white sugar and processed carbs for a week, and I promise you, you will feel better. We've done this challenge where hundreds and thousands of people across the world went off sugar and processed food for 1 week. And the amount of goodness in terms of testimonials and what people felt was incredible. You can go down, scroll on our Facebook page, and you'll see hundreds and thousands of testimonials from people on how their lives changed when they gave this up. You need to understand that the food lobbies don't care about your health. They care about selling food. You are a consumer. You are a number. You are a statistic. You are not a human being. When you realize this and you realize that they don't care about your health, that's what should motivate you to understand that, hey, let me take responsibility and accountability for my own health. Fats, healthy fats. Your body, your cells, your endocrine system needs healthy fats to secrete hormones. So all the women out there who do oil-free cooking and go low fat and get fats out of their diet because they think fat makes them fat, please change your mindset. You were fooled. We were fooled. The culprit has always been carbohydrates. It has never been fat. Of course, you have good fats and bad fats. You want to stay away from refined oils, trans fats, processed fats, and all of that stuff. But you go with things like pure ghee. You go with things like coconut oil, which the West has embraced and slapped on a superfood label today. And they call it clarified butter and double clarified butter and all of that stuff. And we go to London and America and we buy that stuff and bring it back to our country. Who's the fool over here? We have this in our own country, but it's sad that everything has to go to the West, get glorified in the West, and then come back to our country, and suddenly everyone embraces it. We need to use common sense and understand that good fats are required. Your nuts, your seeds, your good wood-churned oils, your cold-pressed oils, your virgin oils, your ghee, your coconut, all of these things, even eating plain coconut. People think, oh, Luke, will I get fat eating a coconut? No, you'll get fat wasting your time, even asking this question. Go out, do a walk, do a couple of push-ups, a couple of squats, rather than asking a foolish question like this. But you're okay going to a restaurant that uses mediums of refined oils. You're okay eating outside food that uses refined oils. And you're worried about eating a coconut or drinking coconut water that's going to make you fat. Common sense, simplicity, and self-discipline. Make sure you have healthy fats in your diet. Fat helps you burn fat. Fat doesn't make you fat. The culprit is carbohydrates, but carbohydrates is an essential macro ingredient in all food and all processed foods. So you'll never find science finding problems with carbs, because that's exactly what the food lobbies run on. Then we come to stress. Again, chronic stress will throw your hormones out of balance. Chronic stress. The human body is designed for quick stress. Okay, we have a stress, we deal with it, our stress levels come down. But today we have elevated chronic stress throughout. Elevated, we move on from one problem to another. People call it ambition. I call it greed. How much more do we want on our plates to feel good about ourselves in society, to have designation in society, to have status in society? We got to fill our plates more and more, and we fool ourselves by saying it's ambition because we ruin our health. Be ambitious, achieve what you want in life without compensating your health, and yes, I will call that success. Anyone can build success by compromising their health. That is not success. That is absolutely not success. Elevated stress will throw your hormones out of whack. The more cortisol and adrenaline you produce, estrogen goes down, progesterone goes up, pregnenolone starts depleting, aldosterone goes down, all of your hormones go out of whack. Your thyroxine decreases, your insulin increases just because you have elevated stress. So if you have stress, learn what you can let go of, learn what you can accept, get into meditation, find your spiritual path, don't make it a spiritual fad. Take a hobby, exercise, do anything that can reduce your stress, because you can take all the pills in the world, but have you ever wondered why no pharmaceutical company, why no medical institution tells you, hey, reduce your stress and your problems will go? Because there's no money to be made out of that. Yeah, take another pill, take another chemical, let's run another test on you. But we all know, and science knows that if you reduce stress, things get better. When there's a road accident victim, what is the first thing they do? They don't check for broken bones, they don't do anything. They check for a pulse and they put on an oxygen mask, because they know by giving you oxygen mask, the body, once it gets oxygen, will come to some state of relaxation. And only when it's in a state of relaxation can the immune system fire in and the body start, saving this person's life. But we never get to know about it. Everyone thinks that, oh, stress is a part of all of our life. Let's deal with it. And we put on this brave face and we go on fighting stress and thinking we're stronger than that. You can't be stronger than nature. You cannot be stronger than nature. And we see that in the rot of nature, in tsunamis and storms and floods and all of that stuff. So oversmart human beings think that they're stronger and more intelligent than nature. Let's accept right now that we're not. And stress will continue to be the #1 cause of most diseases, from cancer to cardiovascular and all of these issues in our life. So you got to take a responsibility and accountability and sort out your life and understand that no amount of oral contraceptives is going to solve your hormonal problem unless you start taking care of all the things that we spoke about right now. So stress is one. Overeating and undereating. You overeat, your hormones go out of whack. It doesn't understand, why is this person pushing more and more food and energy in my body? The same thing with undereating. You start starving yourself. Your hormones go into stress mode because it doesn't know why it's not getting energy. The body sees energy as survival. You deprive it, it becomes a problem. Now, this is different from fasting. When you're fasting, you're maintaining a rhythm of fasting. So your body recognizes this is the time the body fasts, this is the time the body eats. But when you do it erratically, your body goes into stress mode, and that's when you get acidic and all of the other problems. And lose weight. If you have a lot of belly fat, this is not for vanity. You want to look good, lose that weight. But the more belly fat you have, you need to understand that you have a hormonal imbalance, and you need to do whatever it takes to slowly lose inch by inch. Because your body's trying to tell you it's holding on to your weight because you have a hormonal imbalance, you have emotions of insecurity, you have emotions of fear, you don't feel loved, you don't feel protected, you don't feel appreciated. Believe me, this emotional connect has everything to do with women and men who struggle to lose emotional fat. And of course, there's laziness and junk food and everything else. But lose that belly fat. It is not natural. I'm not saying you got to get a size six pack or a size 0 figure. I'm saying you shouldn't have a protruding belly that's just hanging with a lot of fat. Your body's trying to tell you that something is wrong hormonally. You want to fix that. And these are the simplest lifestyle changes that you can make. You can Google all the foods in the world to balance hormones. They may help. Things like green tea helps. Definitely. Almonds help. Maca powder helps. Ashwagandha helps. It helps. It doesn't heal you. To heal you, you got to make these lifestyle changes, and that's what makes all the difference. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.